So what's your initial impression?
I mean, this speaks to me. You know.
How so?
Fit, finish, silk dome automatically makes me like it. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Because you don't like a bright speaker.
No. I like how this thing looks. I like the finish difference between the gloss and then the matte finish. Mm-hmm. It feels solid, and you're right, it is 105 pounds of speaker.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is they measure extremely well, but the reality is you got to like what they sound like.
See, I'm not a spec and measurement guy. Mm-hmm. I'm a real world guy.
So Matt, you're at least considering Perlisten. Why? What was your thought process there?
Man. My gut tells me, you know, looking at their site, the fit and finish. I've never seen these in person. I've never heard them. The reason why I wanted the R7s is silk dome tweeter. Mm-hmm. We'll see if the beryllium can win me over. I just know that I'm not a Focal fan. And so I generally don't like the sound of a metal dome tweeter.
Right.
But Perlisten's telling us that they do it right, and so we're going to find out.
And so to come into a market, just to have a pretty cabinet, they needed to back it up. And so they backed it up with measurements. Mm-hmm. And so that's what's great about Perlisten. These guys know their stuff. It's more than just a beautiful cabinet. I mean, you can see there's lots of detail in here, but everything is done with a purpose. Mm. So I'm ready to check these things out, man.
Me too.
Hey guys, we are here at Rusty's house, and you're gonna find out this actually was Matt Mormon's previous house that he purchased from him. Today we're gonna be having some fun. We've got some Perlisten speakers. Here we've got the R7t speakers, and we also have the S7t speakers. Part of what we're wanting to do with Obsessed Home Theater is do some comparisons. A lot of you guys want to know the difference. What are the differences between this series and this series? Well, we're wanting to find that out for ourselves. So we're just gonna do an unboxing in this. We'll get this set up in a later video, get it calibrated, share with you our thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and get to unboxing on this. So here you can see we've got the R7ts. So this is the more affordable series from Perlisten. One thing I like about Perlisten is their naming. So the 7 dictates how many drivers are in here. You can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers. And then we got 3 here for mid-range as well as a tweeter. So I haven't really heard the R series that I can remember, except maybe at a trade show. So these are always fun. Here are these little
Is this the first time you've ever had an unboxing assistant?
I have. Most time I never have an unboxing assistant. Hardly ever. I was literally about to show these guys how I normally do it. So we got double boxed, which is always good.
Now these came on a pallet. Right? They came on a big old pallet.
We have, so just the 4. We didn't order any subwoofers, right?
Nope.
Okay, so we're just checking out their towers. All right, now one thing I always typically do, Matt, is
flip it over.
Yeah. Just makes it easy.
Bring it to me.
Bring yours over. I'm gonna go sideways with it.
Oh, you're gonna go
so,
which way? Oh, this, sorry.
Yep.
That, yeah.
And this way. And then before we do that, we got our accessories here. So I've never actually unboxed one of these. This thing's legit right here. Go and see what's in here.
Heck yeah.
Big thick foam. Look at that base plate.
Yeah.
So that is heavy steel, bro. That's nice. All right, let's lay that off to the side. Don't think we got anything else. Yeah, and the rest is just gonna be padding. So we'll be good there. So when I'm unboxing by myself, to me this is the easiest way to do it. Flip it upside down and let the box straight up. It's a lighter box here. All right, so these are gonna be our feet right there.
That's very nice.
Kind of bougie, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Got some more copper right there.
And then it looks like they have a flat foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that'll screw, yeah, like that. That'll be on the top. So we'll get those assembled a little bit. And a little washer there. All our screws and a hex. All right, so let's go ahead and undo this cloth.
You do have port plugs if you're close to a wall. Ooh.
I always like when brands give you the cloth. I don't know why. So these are gloss black, I think. Do you want me to put them on? You know what? When I first started unboxing stuff, I never used these, but I actually like them now. Because I'd rather wear them and not get all the fingerprints on them. Because it's a pain to get them off. But the downfall, it makes them slippery. So you gotta be careful.
Oh.
All right, so typically what I'll do, just pull this back a little bit. Now when we lift this up, I'm gonna get you to lift up on that side. I'm gonna grab the bottom because I don't want it to.
What do you want to do?
You're gonna pick straight up. Well, I'll tell you what, no, we gotta put the base on. Let's go.
You want to roll it up onto the pad here?
Just like that.
Oh, Willis. Man.
Isn't that cool though?
Yeah, this is pretty sick.
So these are their entry. So these are more affordable. These, I think we looked them up. What are they? 10 a pair?
9995.
And then the other ones are 20 a pair. They're
Yeah.
twice as expensive. So these are the more affordable series. So I'm curious to see what these sound like. I want to hear them like side by side, compare them in a real living room environment. All right. So we'll do that.
I think it
And
needs to
then-
go. It's this way.
I don't follow directions, Matt, and I don't think you do either, do you?
Nope, we'll just figure it out.
I like what I'm seeing. So they give you some options here. So we've got rubber bottom. So this is hardwood floor. We're going to use that. But so if you had carpet, you could take these little spikes, screw it in there. That looks slick, man.
Matches my watch.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
So Matt, you're at least considering Perlisten. Why? What was your thought process
Gut,
there?
man. My gut tells me, looking at their site, the fit and finish. I've never seen these in person. I've never heard them. The reason why I wanted the R7s is Silk Dome tweeter. We'll see if the beryllium can win me over. I just know that I'm not a Focal fan. And so I generally don't like the sound of a metal dome tweeter.
Right.
But the Perlisten's telling us that they do it right. And so we're going to find out.
Well, the good thing is they measure extremely well. But the reality is you got to like what they sound like.
See, I'm not a spec and measurement guy. I'm a real world guy.
All right, so Matt, let's think this through. So I imagine that is going to be, see, both of these have rubber pieces. I may have to look that up.
We might have to consult the instructions right there.
Yeah, because I want it to look right, and part of this is aesthetics. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll take this rubber piece here, feed it through this foot, just like that. And then you've got this trim piece here. One side is brass or bronze, I guess. The other side is just a rubber, so that's going to lay up against the bottom side of this.
You want some specs on these puppies?
Yeah.
4-way base reflex. DPC, I'm not sure what that's a term from them. DPC array.
It's called a DPC array. I'll show you that when we see the tweeter in the mid-range.
26 millimeter Silk Dome tweeter. So it's a DPC array, 26 millimeter Silk Dome tweeter. So there's 3 tweeters?
So there's a tweeter, and then surrounded by that are going to be 2 mid-range drivers.
And then, so that's an array. And then there's, the woofers are 165 millimeter, 4 of them, right? HPF diaphragms. So very different than what they put in the S7.
Correct. Yeah, they're going to be, you'll see, they look completely different. One almost looks like kind of like a paper woofer. And the other one has like this checkerboard pattern, and it's even more, I was talking to the designer, and he was saying that it really actually it's more than just aesthetics. Like they intentionally did that checkerboard pattern on the S7Ts for added rigidity.
90 dB sensitivity, so pretty darn efficient speakers. Normally speakers that look like this tend to be inefficient, right?
Usually
And
big
they're 4 ohms, so they'll be making our amp work for it. We'll get a little more power out of the amplifiers that we have here. Let's see. Response linearity from 80 hertz up, so 80 to 20. So I think what they're saying is that they have a flat linear response, plus or minus 1.5 dB. There's a 1.5 dB window. So they're getting, flat frequency response from 80 all the way up. But the actual frequency response is 27 hertz, up to 32 kilohertz.
Yeah, and that's pretty typical for a tower.
Yep. Typical in-room bass extension down to 19 hertz. They are 105.6 pounds. I'm assuming that's for a pair. It doesn't seem like 100 pounds in one speaker, does it?
I think it's 100 pounds each speaker.
You think?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a manufacturer show the weight of a pair of speakers, except for maybe shipping.
And these are the only speaker, I think, that's THX Dominus certified. These are the only speaker brand that I know of that has that certification.
So several years ago when Perlisten first came out, I remember seeing an article and it said that they were registered as THX Dominus. And honestly, I thought they made up the term. I've never heard of it. Nobody had ever done that.
Yeah.
Usually we've got TH Ultra certified, or we've got Select, and that typically just, for the most part, is how big of a room they could fill adequately without kind of like getting into too much distortion and so forth. There's some other measurements that they use to grade those, and they don't even let us know, and even manufacturers, a lot of them, they don't know what those standards are. They just basically submit some speakers, and they either say, okay, you either made the grade or you didn't. So when they came out with the 7 STs, and then all the other speakers, I think when I interviewed them, they had 21 models that were THX Dominus certified, which was unheard of. And I think one of the reasons they did that, they're this brand new company. Nobody knows who they are, but they're selling like pretty high end.
Yeah, I'd say.
These aren't inexpensive speakers. And so to come into a market just to have a pretty cabinet, they needed to back it up. And so they backed it up with measurements. And so that's what's great about Perlisten. These guys know their stuff. It's more than just a beautiful cabinet. I mean, you can see there's lots of detail in here, but everything is done with a purpose. So I'm ready to check these things out, man.
Me too.
I'm gonna flip this right here. All right, go ahead and put yours up.
Turn it.
Where's the front? Oh, we gotta turn around to the camera.
Okay, I got it backwards. Sorry, all right. I thought I was turning it from.
You guys ready? All right, Matt, take a first look there.
Yeah, got some serious fit and finish, man.
So what's your initial impression?
I mean, this speaks to me.
How so?
Fit, finish, Silk Dome automatically makes me like it.
Yeah.
So
because you don't like a bright speaker.
No, I like how this thing looks. I like the finish difference between the gloss and then the matte finish. It feels solid. And you're right. It is 105 pounds of speaker.
Yeah.
Feels solid. Looks solid. So aesthetically, actually the finish is pretty decent as well. A lot of times you get gloss black speakers, you know, me being a car paint guy.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're, you know, I can see the sanding mark, so I would probably polish these still. So they've done a good job of getting the speaker to us in good condition. With black gloss paint is really difficult to do.
That might be a cool video to do. Like, how do you polish these?
I have a few videos on the channel of polishing speakers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So from aesthetically, they appeal to me.
Okay. So one thing, remember you had asked earlier about the DCP array. I'm gonna just flip this around. So what that's referring to, and I don't know all the technology, but it's this right here. So you got your tweeter in the middle, and the array, I guess, is the mid-range that are flanking it. So typically, and again, I'm not an engineer, especially with center channels, a lot of times you'll see a company, they'll do like a mid-range and then a mid-woofer or woofers flanking that. Really good designs typically measure better when they have it in a vertical array like that. So you put the mid-range and the tweeter in that vertical array. Part of what Dan and Eric told me about one of their philosophies, a lot of times companies will control the dispersion on the horizontal left and right, but they don't really worry about the up and down. So these are designed in such a way that the sound kind of stays at your listening position. It doesn't get reflected off the ceiling, doesn't get reflected off your floor, so that helps make that mid-range and that tweeter just a lot more clear. So this is something that's a little different for me. So I'm used to seeing the S7ts. So the R7ts, they just look interesting because it's almost like they got these little fibers in here.
It looks very Sonus Faber-like to me, paper cone.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't believe it's a paper cone. It's some sort of coated, you know, plastic.
But it just has a different style. You'll see when we unbox the other ones that totally different look on the drivers. But this, I believe, is the same technology, apart from different type of tweeter.
I think the thing that people, like we're experiencing this for the first time, I didn't want to I wanted to, it's like buying a car. I don't like the test drive. I'd like to just get it, just buy it, get it, try it.
Play with it.
And then over sometimes years, then I become an subject matter expert in it. And I feel like we're doing that same thing with
100%. Yeah, because I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the specs. I'm glad you pulled that up on the laptop because I'm not as familiar with their specs.
But we're going to figure that out.
Yeah. But these are slick, man.
Yeah.
They look beautiful. So
should we open the big boy?
Yeah.
Stick it next to it?
Yep. So these are your port plugs here. So some people like to run them ported. Some like to run them sealed. Tell you what though. You know what, Matt? I want to look on the bottom. Is there a port on the bottom?
Yeah, there's two.
So can you access that with the plate on?
I don't know. You'd have to port plug it beforehand.
So that's something to kind of keep in mind is if you're going to run these ported or sealed, figure that out before you put your base plate on. Do you tend to like ported or sealed?
Always ported, yeah. I never run them sealed.
So I like big subwoofers that are sealed, but most of the time my towers I run ported.
Same here. I think the port plugs generally are if you have a real problematic setup. And I think this room is pretty typical.
Yeah. All right, let's get this big boy open. So we should have pretty similar unboxing on this one. So we'll speed through some of this for you guys.
You know, this is our first unboxing together, so we got to figure out how to do this. So you guys on the video are getting raw. Matt and Michael figuring out how to coexist here. You got.
So I can tell you, these are definitely heavier. These are more than 100 pounds for sure.
So these are $19,995 a pair.
Okay, so about twice as much.
These are same 4-way bass reflex. Same DPC array, but with a 28 millimeter instead of a 26 millimeter tweeter array. And it's not 3 drivers, it's 2. So the mid-range tweeter setup, the DPC array, is a 2-driver array, not a 3-driver. The woofers are 180 millimeters instead of 165 millimeters, 4 of them. They're 92.2 dB sensitive. So even though they're bigger, heftier speakers, they're actually more efficient.
Yeah.
Same 80 to 20K. They play down to 22 hertz, so you get an extra 5 hertz of, I guess, frequency response. These are 122.5 pounds.
Okay, so these have the...
One note on these.
All right.
These are the special edition.
Is this the special edition?
These are the special edition. They're 22,000 a pair.
Oh.
They sent us the special edition? Holy cow, I didn't know that.
It says in his email, and I think it says walnut on the outside.
Okay, I take that back. Let me go check this out. So these are the S7 special editions. So if you go to the site, they are limited edition, they call it.
Right.
And so these are $2,000 more than what I just told you.
Now remember the other plate? This plate's a lot heavier.
Oh yeah.
It's a big boy. Interesting.
This comes in sandwich and MDF.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, so we'll have to get that removed. I'm gonna put it on the floor. All right, everything else will be good. Let's flip this over, Matt. And it's actually so much easier doing this with 2 people instead of 1. But the good thing is if you do it this way, you can do it even by yourself. Yeah, S7t SE special edition.
Oh man, I didn't know they were really sending it. That's the good
So
stuff.
these have speaker grills. I didn't see any speaker grills for those, did you?
I didn't know.
That's interesting.
Sure we didn't miss them?
So those are metal.
No, we didn't miss them.
We'll take a look just to make sure.
Yeah, no.
So here you can see these are metal grills. Man, incredibly sturdy. It's got 5 of those. Are you a grill on or grill off?
I've had to be a grill on because I got little kids, but I guess I don't need to do that anymore.
So now that I'm a grandfather, granddad,
Grill's back on. Yeah.
Papa, guess what?
Grill's back on.
Grills are on. Jessica doesn't like the grills off anyway, but
Yeah.
I do. I love seeing the woofers.
So look at that.
So these are pretty similar as far as style
I guess they are the same.
of those. Maybe that plinth is just different. I don't know. Now these feel heavier. Feel that.
Do they? Yeah.
It feels quite a bit heavier. So, but it looks like pretty much same construction, same design on how we put those together. So down here, I guess we can do it this way. Yeah. Just got a little rope here. Now these are in a walnut finish, I think.
Yep.
So you guys will get to see the walnut finish.
Is it sick?
That's fancy, bro. That's nice. Give you a little sneak peek there. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing.
Bring it to me.
Just like that.
Man, how many people get to do this in the world?
These are beautiful, man. I don't think I've seen the walnut finish.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Do we need a Allen key here?
Yeah.
Something tells me that plate's going to be fancy.
Well, when it comes sandwiched together with some MDF, I'm curious to see what it looks like myself. So this is the first time I've assembled one of these. I've seen them, not the special edition, but That just protects it during shipping. It's a beefy plate, bro. You can get a workout with that. So we'll do the flat side down. I'll be real careful. What's nice is they included that little rubber piece you can see right here. So that'll protect it. 4 screws in there.
TPCD, thin ply carbon diaphragm. They call it Textreme. Textreme TPCD. That's the woofers.
Okay. So you're going to see they're going to have a quite a bit different look, even aesthetically, but it serves like an actual acoustic property and purpose as well.
In a follow-up video, we're going to compare, similar. It's kind of a speaker that shoots the gap of these. So that's the Contour 60s from Dynaudio.
Nice.
Which are my current favorite speaker.
All right, so got the base on there. So basically we've got these small rubber pieces instead of the spike. Screw that into there. Yeah, I guess it's designed that way, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Again, we'll take that rubber side, place that going up. Because this has got rubber on it. Just like that.
So are a little different, these. I guess they're
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
They feel a little heavier. That could be just my brain telling me they're heavier, but they feel heavier.
Man, I didn't know they were sending us a special edition.
I wonder what makes it special. Like, what's different about it? Because that part I don't know.
That's what that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Is that copper or is that bronze?
I don't know. Probably copper. I don't know my metals.
They've updated the woofers to increase linear excursion over the S7, lowered inductance, and increased low frequency capability. The DPC array, while maintaining the existing drive units and pattern control, we've coupled all 3 transducers to a massive aluminum heatsink that takes power handling and reduced thermal compression to all new levels. So
they've actually made some design changes to this, not just cosmetic then.
Even the crossover has been updated.
Okay.
They're all hand sorted to 1% tolerances. Final values and pair matching to 0.5 dB will be performed at the U.S. headquarters by Dan.
Yeah.
So he'll tune the crossover essentially after they arrive in the U.S. Each speaker will be measured using a Klippel near-field scanner. So different woofers, different tweeters, different enclosure, for a couple $1,000 more.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna show you something I just figured out because I was about to complain. So I'm trying to pull this off. It's like tape. But if you just unscrew it all the way, then it'll just slide off. So I just didn't want to take like a razor blade and then you cut into your $20,000 speakers. So you pull it all the way off. Then you can just rip that off. And it slides out. Put it back on.
So if you didn't do this in walnut, this would be in carbon fiber. The exterior. Okay. On the limit. Yeah, so in the S7 you can get in piano black, cherry, black cherry, so a natural cherry, a black cherry, ebony, or ebony high gloss.
So you can't even get the walnut unless you get the special edition?
Nope.
Okay. That's why I've never seen it then. All right, go ahead. Oh, God. See, I'm going to let him do all the lifting.
It's 122 pounds.
Ain't bad.
It feels completely different than the
Arndal I've been moving around. They're 174 pounds a piece. Look at that. Yeah. That is a gorgeous finish.
Yeah.
But now take a look at the difference in the drivers. I'll bring this one over there to it. You can see we just got a totally different design. But even this checkerboard pattern, because these are like individual pieces, They basically told me that actually just adds some rigidity to that driver. So anytime that these drivers start bending and flexing, it's going to change the sound.
Yes, so they call it HPF pulp
Okay.
on the R7s.
Right.
Versus the S7s are that's the Techstream TPCD, right? So completely different cone design. It looks like the surround design is different as well, quite a bit more excursion. The surround is quite a bit thicker. And then you have the beryllium tweeter versus the soak dome. That's what I'm really interested to see.
So interesting too, this is made out of plastic right here. This is wood. All right, so the speaker grills are magnetic. So you can see right here, those just need to line where the screws are. And so if it doesn't stick, just kind of give it a little rotate. And that's what it looks like with the speaker grills.
I thought it was going to be a lot bigger.
I like them without it myself. So these are going to be just individual for each driver. Actually, I'll go ahead and put all 4 of them on there just so we can see. Actually, I think we got one for the middle too.
I think that's the best of both worlds, though, because now you still get to see the texture of the front. You're not just covering it up with a big grill.
Yeah,
I like
instead of
that a
having just
lot.
a full grill. So
I like that a lot. You can tell that these guys are speaker guys. You
Yeah.
know, long term, they've been playing with products for decades, their whole lives.
Dan Romer has actually designed speakers for a bunch of different brands before he even started making Perlisten.
Right.
So he's the go-to guy.
So they've taken all that exists and all that they like and dislike, and then made design choices based on that.
Correct.
I think that's invaluable.
Yeah.
And then to see how they put, just little things to me matter, like seeing how they put the website together.
Yep.
That's what my gut tells me. I don't know how they sound yet, but that tells me that I'm going to like it.
I think you're going to find they're more than just a pretty cabinet. Like there's a lot of engineering that went into these. So I'm curious to see what you think. All right, so one thing you'll need to install is these jumpers. So this is made for basically if you want to buy wire or buy amp your speakers. So you could hook, like say for instance in a buy amp, you would hook the red and black to one amplifier, and then the red black to another amplifier. And so what that would do is allow a separate amplifier to power probably the mid-range and the tweeters, and then the other one to power.
You ever seen that the Macintosh amp that's a tube amp and
It's like a combo.
solid state? That's my dream. I want to have that for all my speakers. A monoblock amp where I'm tube driving my tweeters, and then.
So all we're doing in this case, since we're not going to buy wire or buy amp, we're just going to use a jumper so that the signal, when we put like a cable here, it's going to send that sound or that, I guess, path down to the other binding post. So just tighten those down, just like that.
30 G's, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about.
But I'll tell you what, you got to use that in the video, the butt puckering,
Yeah.
because we all can relate to that.
This is a level of commitment that's a little different than you're considering online.
Yeah.
You're not considering online. We're like in reality here, where it's here. Now, am I going to pony up or not?
Right.
That happens with cars, with a lot of things.
All right, guys. Well, we've got the 7STs and the R7Ts unboxed. I like what I'm seeing. I've seen these before at trade shows, like at Audio Advice Live, as well as Florida Audio Expo. But I don't remember ever hearing these and really sitting down. So I'm really curious to see how these sound. And this is the first time I've seen the special editions. This is just a beautiful, beautiful finish. So for a couple extra $1,000, as well as that additional finish is important to you, man, she's sweet. So Matt, I'm excited, man.
Yeah. So welcome to my former living room. I feel like this is like a weird sordid family story, right?
Yeah.
And that we're on your channel.
Right.
We're also going to be on my channel, Obsessed Garage. And we're considering these. We're testing these speakers out to see if it's something that, you know, we carry.
Yeah.
Is it something logistically we could even do, seeing how big these suckers are? Yeah. And so now this is Rusty's house.
Right.
But I sold Rusty the house as is, so my Dynaudio contours are in here. So what I wanted to do was we ordered these before I sold him the house.
Right.
And so we're going to continue to go through this process of figuring out, are these, my gut tells me these speakers are for me.
Yeah. So not only they might be a good fit for Obsessed Home Theater, but you're looking at possibly purchasing one or the other.
Obsessed Home Theater is us, right?
Yeah.
If it fits.
But I mean for like your personal residence too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this weekend, we're going to do version 2.0 of my family room theater. This might be version 3.0.
Right. Who knows?
Theater, yeah. So unboxing experience was great. Boxed really well, double boxed. It came on a giant pallet. Easy to get out, easy to put together. And they're legit, man. The fit and finish of this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of, like, in the garage world, the Sonic cabinets, where they just did an amazing job of looking at what was available, having experience over the years of, and then putting together sort of a best of breed, right? Best in class across the board. They look really, really great. I will tell you, they're a whole lot more dense. These are really nice speakers. These are, I think, 12 or 13,000 a pair, and the density of these, they feel, they're probably 50 pounds heavier.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah.
They probably have a lot of internal bracing inside here.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. So the big question is, R7, Silk Dome. So these are 22,000 a pair. What were these?
10,000 roughly a pair.
Yeah. These were, I think these are 13,000 a pair.
Yeah.
And so what we wanted to do was to test these out in comparison to something that I know really well, and see, does this make the Obsessed Home Theater list? You know,
I'm excited, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, man. So the next video that we do on the Perlisten series will be us getting them set up here, dialed in with Dirac, and just sitting down with them, spending some time with them, and really just kind of deciding, all right, what sonic characteristics do these have? How do these differ from those? And even your Dynaudio speakers. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great week. God bless. We'll catch you in the next one.